Hi everyone. When it comes time to start building Arduino projects with your students, one of the biggest challenges is that typically we don't have a full classroom set of Arduinos for every student. This is where a tool like TinkerCad can come in. TinkerCad is a design tool that will design, as you can see down here, not only the plastic parts for 3D printing, but will actually also allow you to design and program and simulate your Arduino projects. TinkerCAD is really helpful in that it does sign in with your social media accounts, which for our students, since they have Gmail accounts, they don't have to create a second account to be able to sign into TinkerCAD. All they have to do, and all you have to do, is simply click Sign In. The button down here that says Sign In using social media providers. We're going to choose Google, and that's it. It will create your account and sign you in so that you have access to your materials. So as you can see here, there's actually a couple of options, including both 3D designs, where you can actually design your own CAD drawings ready for 3D printing. Lessons, where you can actually get some tutorials in terms of how to do some of this work. And circuits, where we'll find our Arduino projects. So I'm going to just go ahead and create a new circuit. And it gives me a blank screen with all of the materials I might need. So a couple of things that I'll need right off the bat are probably an Arduino. So I'll click on the Arduino and position it on my board. Might roll my mouse cursor or pinch zoom if that's what you've got so that I can fit more things on the board. Click on a small breadboard, bring that guy out. And now I'm ready to start developing. Now for my project, I'm going to need a light bulb, an LED. So I'm going to just do a search for an LED. And the type of LED I'm going to use, if we're going to use the same setup that we used for the previous video, I want red, green, and blue LED. So I'll click on that, bring him out to my board. There we go, and it will automatically pin to the board. I need some resistors for the 3 pins, so I'm going to go ahead and type resistor. And there's my resistor that I can select onto my 3 pins of the green, the blue, and the red. So that was my green, there's my blue, there's my red. Because these are resistors for diodes, I should probably make these around 220 ohms. So I'll go ahead and click on the first one, and it says, what's my resistance? I'll change that to ohms and 220. Click on this guy as well, change that to ohms, 220. And finally, click on this guy and change him to 220 ohms. And when I do, you'll see that the color symbols on my resistor do change as well to red, red, brown, which is 220. Now, to actually wire up my board, first thing, I want to make sure that both my top row of negative pins and my bottom row of negative pins are connected, and I can do that by just sort of clicking and dragging. I can do the same thing with my bottom row by clicking and dragging, so that now all my positives and all of my negatives are connected to one another. I do want to make this pin, which is my, oops, move him over, make my cathode pin connected to my negative, because that's what cathode means. That's the output of my 3 resistors, or sorry, 3 light bulbs. And connect him to my negative pin. And then finally, I'm going to take my Arduino and I'm just going to connect the pins in the same manner that I did with my simulation or with my previous project. So pin 3, I'm going to connect to my red, pin 5, I'm going to connect to my green, and pin 6, I'm going to connect to my blue. And then also I want to make sure that I connect my ground to a ground. It doesn't really matter where. And that's it. All I need to do is put my program in, and let's see if this works. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to click up here where it says code, and it actually gives me the ability to block code with drag and drop blocks, and if you prefer that, that's great. For myself, I actually like working with text, and so I am going to actually just paste my nightlight program directly into that. All right, and that's it. To see if it works, let's just start the simulation. And sure enough, you can see that the light is changing color based on my program.